Take two. You know, I like live videos. I don't like these non-live videos. They're tough to record them and then put them up on YouTube. Takes forever. So this is kind of crazy because this is the letter that supposedly that resurfaced about Biden or about JFK, John F. Kennedy Jr. Says that they Tuesday saw a release of remaining files. Sorry, this dust in here is killing me. And I went and looked at other dust. That's not a good idea. Dust in the house. The house needs to be dusted. Related to the 1963 assassination of President John F. Kennedy, these including details of the letter sent in 1994 to then Senator Joe Biden, which described him as a traitor and signed John F. Kennedy Jr. An investigation conducted at the time found no evidence the deceased president's son sent the letter. The document was already in public domain due to prior Freedom of Information requests. Newsweek reached out to Biden via email for comments on Wednesday outside of the regular office hours. Why it matters. President Kennedy's assassination on November 22nd, 1963, in Dallas is one of the most well-known. Who cares? So, this is kind of crazy. After it resurfaced, thanks to Tuesday's document release, the letter was shared on X by President's critics, including Russell Brand and Newsweek's host Jay Harris Jr., where it went viral, tracking up millions of views. The record released on Tuesday indicated the Federal Bureau of Investigation reported on a handwritten letter dated 2/26/1994, which was sent to then Senator Biden. The letter began, "Dear Senator Biden, you are a traitor," and was signed by John F. Kennedy Jr., the late president's son, who died in 1999 plane crash. Comedian turned Christian commentator Russell Brand, they're after Russell, shared a letter on X. Wait, did RFK Jr. warn us that Joe Biden was a traitor to America before he was killed? The post got 65,000 likes and 2.9 million views. I bet that pissed off Newsweek, too. Oh, I pissed him off. Made him mad. Just mad. How dare the old dinosaur forced, like on my computer, MSNBC, forced with Microsoft. Like, you gotta take this route. When nobody only goes there for information to take a talking point and then run. That's all we go to it for. Anybody digesting the stuff that's in Newsweek or even on any of the main social media or mainstream medias is just out of their brains. You got to take this in consideration. These guys have been propaganda, threat to our democracy, And they've got like 60 different news, even my local news, my state, Utah. They're like, blah, 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 threat to our democracy. Our democracy. It's time to off the old, crazy white guys that are still kind of holding on to everything. And it's like, you're kind of done, bro. You're kind of done. Russell Brand, the rest of us, it's our generation now, Gen X, we're the metalheads, we're the Nirvana crew. We're done. We're done with you guys. You guys are like quiet right prior, it's over, It's over. Time to exit the building there, Chucky Schumer and Nancy Pelosi's and all the old baby boomers, literally the baby boomers are holding on. I mean, baby boomers, your generation, the hell out of this country. It just destroyed it. And we all know this. You know it as well as I do. My parents were baby boomers. They got screwed over. No lube. No lube at all. No Astroglide at all. This country, due to the other bad baby boomer generation that said, oh, yeah, you hippies, yeah, sure, well, go ahead, along the Watchtower. Yeah, Hendrix, yes, managers and drug overdose, okay. These are monsters. Music industry is monsters. Hollywood was nothing but sex in their face. Sex every time you turn around. Sexual exploitation of women all over. Oh, yeah, sex at Baywatches. And it was great. We were good looking, and we tried to be good looking. But, it's done, bro. It's done. Drive by your local college and take a look at the new generation. That's over. So what we got to do is try to pick up the pieces from the baby boomers that should be in the retirement home. Should be. But I read a piece on living in North Dakota off $500,000 in your 401k, which changes today, by the way. You've lost a lot of that. 60 years old. in the baby boomer generation, $280,000 average savings you have. You can't live in North Dakota for 7 years with full Social Security or Social Security disability. Average, which is not much, it's $1,200. Nobody's getting paid out what they should. You have an average of 7 years to live there. And there's different states you can try to live with your $280,000, but you got to have $500,000 to live, maybe 15 years, 75 years old. If you're retired at 60, you can live 15 years, 14 years in North Dakota with your $500,000 and your Social Security. I mean, it's done. Pull the plug, everybody. Pull the plug. The rich have gotten so rich, it's disgusting. It's absolutely, just Trump wants to eliminate income taxes for $150,000 and below. You make like $70 an hour. Where are we going to make $70 an hour? Anybody's actually working for a living. It's not like, so you are really good at sitting around doing nothing, pretending to do stuff, sending some emails, reviewing stupidity and moving other people's money. Yes, I am. Yes. Well, you're hired. You're a tech worker. These money management scams, all they do is move the rich's money. And you get into like just the average guy. Half my house needs to be reshingled. I need another $10,000 just to do the other half of my roof, which used to cost $5,000 or probably $3,000. And I'm working and I can't afford it. And I can't afford anything. I can't afford the increase in my escrow. I can't afford the increase in my vehicle insurance. I can't afford the increase of everything. We are scuttled down with my health issues, which is common with working in the dirt and dust and smoking cigarettes, and in southern Utah, having asthma, severe asthma, and this is done. This is done. What Trump is doing now is saying anybody under $150,000 is basically in poverty. That's what this is. It's not like, oh, how dare they need to cut earned income credit down where people that have 3-4 kids, which is now mostly immigrant families, are having the children over 1 kid, maybe 2. They're still trying for the American dream. Hey, these colors don't run. I don't know where you buy this shirt. It's pretty awesome, though. It's not a sponsor at all, but it's a pretty cool shirt. But realization is, the American dream is a nightmare if you're outside the big cities and you're not college educated. They need the cheap workers, cheap labor to come in. That's what they brought the migrants in for. Europe's gone. Goodbye, Europe. I don't see Europe, except for maybe someplace like Hungary holding on, Czechoslovakia or Czech Republic and Slovakia maybe holding on. Poland seems like they might get their act together. But as far as Britain, Germany, you're done. You're done. And Macron's passing out nuclear survival. A lot of things about Bridget going on. I'm not going to get into that. You can go check that out, who Bridget is, his wife, how old he really was when this all happened. We literally have teachers. I see these gorgeous teachers, which would be gorgeous in today's age, which isn't that. And these very, very attractive young women, which would be attractive in today's standards, which is anybody doesn't have 50 nose rings, 5 neck tattoos, a face tattoo, and blue hair, and under 600 pounds. So, and they're having sex with 8th graders and these young boys. And, you got Macron in the news, Emmanuel Macron, and you're like, so I listened to that last night. I was listening about Bridget and Macron. And I was like, okay, so in the news in America, it says teachers having sex with, now it's all girls having sex with these young boys. Utah has a couple cases that came out about men molesting young girls and high profile men and molesting young boys. But you have these PR firms. So I want to tell you all what your representatives really are and who they really are. If you take these clowns we call representatives, okay, and I know there's a couple that are okay. There's a few that are pretty good people. And I see these ones that are fighting back. Never-ending story, the never-ending fight. But everyone else hires a PR firm, public relations firm. And these are monsters. And those monsters that work for these PR firms are dead. A lot of them are retired with their massive amount of money. But they're basically special operations units. No one's going to tell you the truth about why you see These people that really can't do their own laundry, don't work their own jobs, they don't fix their own cars, they do nothing. There's nothing that they've ever done in this life epic. They've never faced off flying saucers, they've never had aliens encounters, they've never had ghost adventures, they've never seen a Sasquatch, they've never fought off bobcats, mountain lions, bears, none of this stuff. They're epically nothing. Okay, they come out of a school. If you go back to their younger years, they're basically kind of exiled out. They had an agenda to conquer and rule the world, like Pinky and the Brain. But they hire PR firms, which are basically special operations units that go out and clean up and sanitize their reputation. And then they go after anybody that says anything against them. They go with them with lawyers, with the scum of the earth. The bottom feeders of the earth is a lawyer. And a lawyer, car salesman, and tax agents. Bottom of the barrel. Lawyers put good people in prison, innocent people in prison, and they get pedophiles, murderers, rapists out of prison. That's a lawyer for you. They protect corporations over people. They take money from the injured, sick, and weak, and the harmed for profit. Against judges that have no right to judge. They have no right. This stuff should go to church and not to the judges if you're a Christian. So all of it's a lie. Anyway, I'm trying to get all the dust out of this room. Tree pollen's through the roof too, by the way. Anyway, so that's your breakdown. But your politicians and your movie stars and your very important people you'd call important, like the Macrons, get shoved in everybody's faces with PR firms. They promote you as a brand. Russell Brand is a great guy. Russell's fighting every day to save himself because he became a Christian, but he can tell you a lot about the culture if you watch Russell Brand, which a lot of it's behind a paywall, which I'm very sad about. But these people hire mercenaries to take care of them, their reputation and everything else. So with that under your belt, understand that even with this Biden thing, with this CIA response to RFK assassination, the release of RFK Jr. being assassinated is right in perfect time for the Russian-Ukraine war to continue, the war with the Houthis to happen, and Syria to be completely genociding Christians and other Muslim ethnicities by Borat. The guy looks like Borat, the guy that they put in charge. And Turkey did this. They armed and trained these rebels to go in there and take over Syria. And nobody says anything. This is the same thing as what happens when Crimea, the whole fight over Crimea. And then Trump wants to go after, and I'm still support Trump, but I don't support anybody really other than my Lord Jesus Christ. But he took over Greenland. He wants Greenland. Canada. I mean, this is the same stuff, everybody. The Eastern Ukraine voted out. You can't say any different. You're a liar if you do. The Crimea voted out, and that's the facts. They did their vote. Whether it was rigged or not rigged is none of our business. They voted out, just like Joe Biden said, January 6th, overthrow the election. Election deniers, you guys that do is exactly the same thing. You can't have it both ways. You're speaking forked tongues. I've been watching this generation for 4 years now that hid in their basement, 5 years now, speaking with forked tongues. J6, January 6th, January 6th, January 6th, January 6th. The day that will live in infamy. Tatanka. Yeah, the day will live Buffalo. I see Buffalo, Manny Buffalo. Well, how do they say that? So anyway, I can't remember how to say it. Buffalo come. I know how Tano tells Kemosabe about Buffalo come. Tano stops and puts his head to the ground and says, Kemosabe, Buffalo come. And Kemosabe looks at Tano and says, how the hell do you know that? And he says, no, Buffalo come. Yeah. Buffalo headdress guy. Apparently he's got tribal affiliation. Not much DNA, but he's got a lot of tribal affiliation, which I don't believe in DNA anyways. That's just, you got to see who owns the companies. Yeah. You can't tell you anything about that. They can only tell you maybe a chance of risk of different diseases, but so can your grandparents. They can tell you who your brothers, sisters, cousins, nephews, uncles, nieces are, but they can't tell you exactly where you come from. Because genetics is a DNA dump. You don't know who you're going to get it from. You got millions of genes inside you just going, The baby's created off whatever's the best, whatever works that time. And the woman's body decides, hey, I'm going to do a little bit of this, a little bit of this. And the man's body's carrying his own too. He's like, yeah, I'm going to throw a little bit of this. And you basically got a big mix of mixed nuts with cashews, fruits, and M&Ms. And welcome to humanity. So anyway, comedian turned Christian commentator Russell Brand shared the letter on X. Wait, did JFK Jr. warn us Joe Biden was a traitor to America before he was killed? Okay, so let's see if it's true. So Biden has consistently denied Republicans' claim that said the vice president, he's used his office to support businesses' interests in his son Biden. Okay, well, we know he did. He called up the Ukrainian prosecutor, said, fire that guy. The Ukrainian said, fire that guy or I'm going to pull $1 billion funding him. By golly, he did. What are you talking about, Newsweek? You bro? Yeah, you bro? Idiots? Yeah. These clowns. By Jonathan Ingram and Peggy Terryberry. I ain't you. This is who put this is the debate on the right side. Terryberry. Okay. That's not that stage name. These people are idiots. Despite several influencers said the alleged letter to Biden was already in the public domain, lead story report it has been released in response to a previous Freedom of Information Act request shared social media account of X in 2020. So it says that while the letter was signed, John F. Kennedy, there was no indication he was the actual author. The FBI did an investigation letter, but the case closed in December 1994, with the agency noting that although latent fingerprints were developed by the laboratory, there are no suspects at this time. Where the letter comparison can be made, the FBI described the author as anonymous, and its documentation indicated that it did not believe the author was RFK. Does that seem fishy to any of you? They literally can tell who everybody is. They don't know who this is. And why was this letter held by the Secret Service or the FBI? And in the files released this week didn't contain any major bombshells. Okay. Left-leaning, that's what this is. Yeah, nobody wants to be a part of this anymore. Going to these monsters, this monstrous, these people are all really severely left. It's corruption, greed, and Biden has made this. Anybody living great right now, I don't know. You're either real estate, you're in this tech bulge, or you've robbed from the people, because everybody's paying too much to live. I understand capitalism, but it came out of the Federal Reserve, and Janet Yellen said this was all transitory, which it wasn't. This is a fake economy. Globalism is shattering, hopefully. We're seeing globalism come to fall to pieces. Europe's in a lot of trouble, by the way. So is the U.S. See, I told my wife I need to clean in here, and she's like, quit doing that. You're going to throw yourself in the hospital. Well, that's the problem when you become an older male. Nobody cares about you. When you become the patriarch, you're just basically nobody cares. It's like you're just done. They kind of wrote you off. You keep telling them you're dying, they don't care. Literally, I can't breathe in this house due to the dust and half renovation repairs, and half my house needs new shingles. And I can't do anything about it. I'll end up in the hospital because my asthma, allergic asthma. It's under control right now, but, I'll end up like Pope Francis. The Fed decided to keep interest rates where they are. Nobody cares. The financial system, there's people that their money's working for them, which was our money in the beginning. It all came out of the Federal Reserve 2008, and it all came out in the 2020 debacle known as COVID. All that money came out of the Federal Reserve. The economy was stopped. There's no future. This is all money printed. This is all money out of the Federal Reserve. None of this is real. None of it's real. They liquefied, even Nancy Pelosi gave the HEROES Act that wasn't for the heroes. There's been no compensation for those that were essential workers that worked through the pandemic. Nobody's gotten anything for what we did. We were told to go die. I was one of them. In the public, didn't care, said, you got a problem, it's a flu, bro. We were sent out to our death via food service, grocery stores, anybody that had to move the food and keep the population fed and their packages delivered, were told to suck a fish. We were told there's an invisible enemy out there. I almost died in COVID twice. The Delta one was really bad, not like the novel, but we were told just to die, and nobody's compensated. But Pelosi didn't care, and she gave the money to the guy playing a tambourine with 5 masks on his head, living in a bubble rolling down the road, because they didn't want the essential workers to get it, because we were still the economy, but everybody that was non-essential was hiding. They were considered a protected class. They could do their work from inside their home and not show up at a business, and that's what the still is with the feds. That's why Trump's just eliminating them, and companies are saying come back to work. But they got the privilege. They were the protected class, and they are the ones doing the best. They're the ones doing the best. And the elites, you got like Jamie Dimon and all these guys in Finkel that hold up these investment groups that got all their money, and the rich man's money, that hold 67% of all the wealth dollars in America is held by the upper 10%. And they're still holding it there. And the rest of us, even including the 50 million foreign-born migrants, we're all working for 33% of every dollar. That's all there is, everybody. There's no, just like George Carlin said, your owners own you. You're going to continue with CNN and the left and continue with right Christian values, which isn't, it's the whole set of values in Christianity, that's an oxymoron. It's like satanic values. It's an oxymoron. You're either with Christ or you're not. And all this is a lie, and debt is forgiven every single day you wake up. And that's why a truck's $100,000, and the car dealers are like, oh, we're losing. Car can't sell the brand new cars. I got Russians and Ukrainians driving better vehicles than I have. Yeah, world, I don't care. I mean, are we done getting the rich? You are working for their money. They're owning the trailer park while they're watching the trailer park attendees just die and 2 trailer park girls go around the outside. And they don't care. They'll just replace you. Wouldn't it be time to eat the rich? Yeah. I knew she'd do this. I gotta go shut this window right in the middle of my video, too. Yeah, somebody walked down the road. Sorry to have to upload this, but my dog likes to do that right at the time. Yes, I do believe it's time to eat the rich. I do. I think that that's all the bags of the quartz crystal we have. Anybody interested in these things? It is time to eat the rich. This is the Terminator. This is the Predator version of the quartz. This is Predator. He's got his eye and his teeth. And that right there. And stuff like this. I have tons and tons of quartz. These are quartz matrices and old quartz. I have the the new quartzes like this, tons of these things. And I have these right here. These are kind of like quartz stuff. So let me know. I carry tons of this stuff. We're going to start selling these. Yeah, that's a pretty nice one. We're going to start selling this to support the channel, support us, because I can't afford to live. Get a lot of matrices like that. I actually have the mineral rights to these things. So, you want to check it out. I mean, there's some cool, these matrices are cool. I got tons of these things. Tons of them. I'm like these, we do some gifts and prizes. That's pretty cool. But we can't even ship them off. So the shipping's up to the people that win the prizes. And we also have the blue agate. I mean, that might be something you're interested in, the blue. The blue agate. Yes, the real blue. Yes, I have these blues too. They help support the channel. You can give a donation, which you can message me directly and Venmo me, and make an offer. I mean, I'd give a free gift because we are a Christian church called the Peace Congregation, and I may have to change that to now, but I have the Peace Congregation, and we are the fellowship. The Fed decided to keep it low, so we're going to get off this. Nothing really big in the news. Hamas fires rockets at Israel. Boo, frickety-hoo. It is what it is, bro. But is it time to eat the rich? Yes. Yes, I think that the time to eat the rich has already come and gone. You have to eventually, the working class and the classes homeless on the street should have a long time ago said, this isn't fair, we're done with this. So, and been in all the city councils meetings, government meetings, and said, we're here to shut this down. We're here to make this, you need to give us a universal income because the upper 10% own everything. 50% of the population, I just read a review on that, 50% of the population owned all but 2.36% of every dollar is in the hands of 50% of the population. The other 50 own the rest of it. The jobs that were created in 2019, check it out, peer reviews, it's been reviewed. 78% of all jobs created 2019 went to immigrants. 78% went to immigrants, no Americans except for the last, you have what, 20%. 22% of all jobs created went to Americans. The rest went to immigrants. We got a problem, everybody. And until they raise the wage to meet the demand, $150,000 a year, if you don't pay taxes under that, they're going to take away child credit. If they do that, earned income credit tax returns, there's people that get back 10 grand. That's gone. So what needs to happen is every state needs to be by the neck, and people, they say, it's over. You know, 2250 is the Utah state, this is factual, Brookings Institute, is the living wage. 2250, state of Utah. Each state has a living wage. Anything under that, it's time to stop paying out money to foreign nations. It's to stop supporting other governments like Ukraine. So stop supporting we need to get our money back from Ukraine, our money back from the war, and our money back from all the Biden era throwing money out the window like the ship's on fire. We need to go seize that all. But the judges, federal judges, which are not elected, which is not constitutional, where else we have the chance. We never were told we had to have federal judges. Just Supreme Court, limit the Supreme Court to 4 years, each one of them, and flick them out just to get corruption out. It's a lifelong thing. That's stupid. Get the judges out every 4 years, rotate them out. We only have so much time in your life. You only have 4 years, half a decade. It could be the end of your life. Get them guys out. Let's put this back to the Supreme Court, and let's make sure that all the money that went out gets reanimated back into our society. I mean, hunt it down, bring it back. Confiscate all that money Biden put out for solar, wind, and all that. Get it back in, and then just because we, the people, we're tired of being robbed. We want our representatives to go and say, you're not raising power, you're not raising the gas, you're not raising, quit it. The fuel is cheaper now than it was during the Barack Hussein Obama, which $5 a gallon for gas and milk. I lived through it. It's cheaper than $5 a gallon. So they should never have the right to raise everything the way they did. Wages need to be up to $22.50, and anything underneath that's poverty. And that's exactly what Trump's saying. He's saying $150,000 because there's so many rich versus the poor, but the rich have to have the poor. They have to have their, Diane Sawyer has to have her Katie Couric, like off Ricky Bobby. I'm Ricky. But we've got to fix this. We've got to stop this mess. We've got to get this done. We've got to sit down with these people and say, we're done. All your pet projects, all your new clean energy garbage lies, we're done. We got to lift up the people that's in poverty, and we should be getting a check on the reservation. They at least give you a check. Either they feed you full of bad foods, lard, sugars, and a liquor store on every corner. We at least need a stable income, stable coin for those under $22.50 an hour or $150,000 a year. No more taxes on the poor. They know they cannot tax us, just $150,000 above earners, and they can pay for everything. They know it. Oh no, you destroy the world with free health care. Well, I'll die, said the old guys that are dead or still in Congress, don't know why, Senate. Should be in the nursing home. We didn't die. We need other countries have free health care because health care is that's the big skinny. That's a big whatever they call it, Shamil, whatever. It's a big skinny. And Christians know that you're supposed to heal and be a physician, and so this is all a mess. Healthcare free. Anybody says, Canada, they make it that way. They make it that way. But one instance and it's over for all of us. So just remember that. Without healthcare, you can't afford to live here. So Anyway, thanks for watching 45 News Utah. Go to Facebook, 45 News Utah, and we're going to try Rebel. And that will be the show for today. It's a huge 30 minutes. Going to try to upload. It could take up to 4 to 6 hours, but the Dow is down, and enjoy your life because Christ loves you, and he is coming back, so be ready. He's coming back. Thanks for watching.